Hey, I'm FishOnAHeater, and this is the battle breakdown where we take a look at a set of 3 Pokemon Go PvP competitive battles and break them down to see what we can learn to bring into our future arena battles. Hopefully pick some stuff up that will help us, get that last little bit of an advantage and edge that we need to take out that matchup. So this is round 3 of a Vortex Cup practice tournament. This is between myself, and these names are just getting more and more difficult to pronounce, so I'm gonna go with Sidhant. I'm gonna call him Sid. First ace I've played so far this season, I think. And I had won the first 2 rounds of this tournament fairly easily. Obviously, if I'm up against an ace, it's not going to be quite as simple. This battler happens to be running a Diggersby, which I don't mind Diggersby against my team. Interestingly, Blaziken, I learned. Should I say it now or when it comes up? I might wait till it comes up. The Diggersby is gonna be. Actually, you know what? Now that I look at it, Diggersby's probably not that good against the team. Melmetal from Superpower is gonna really hurt. Melmetal from Superpower from Melmetal is going to really hurt. It has to land an Earthquake to trouble the Zweilous at all. Dragonair is going to really threaten it with the combination Dragon Breath and Aqua Tail, and Fire Punch is not even going to tickle a Jellicent, so it has to land the Earthquake on that too. So, me personally, I like when a Pokemon's bait move, even if it doesn't work, like they don't shield the bait, it still does a reasonable amount of damage. That's why it provides so much shield pressure, like Shadow Punch versus Shadow Ball on Haunter. You get more shields out of that situation than you would in a Diggersby Fire Punch situation, because the Shadow Punch itself is going to hurt. Shadow Ball will just knock you out of the park, but you still feel the pressure to shield even a Shadow Punch if you expect it to be that. Whereas Fire Punch, if you think they're going to bait, and you're right, then that Fire Punch is, you're not going to feel any pressure whatsoever to shield that, because it's not going to hurt. So like I said, Frostlass actually beats Diggersby. The Fire Punch is only doing 40% damage to the Frostlass. It's going to hurt the Melmetal, so I'd say that, I'm guessing here, but I would say Diggersby in general would beat Melmetal. Anyway, Sid's also running the Primeape, which is pretty standard. Last I checked, there are about 30% of people in Vortex Cup running Primeape. Dugong is one that I hadn't seen yet, I don't think. It's hard to remember that long ago that I did round 1 of this tournament. But Dugong's interesting. An Ice type is pretty important in this cup to take out both the Dragons and the Darks. Typically, of course, the Ice type we want is the Frostlass, because that can resist fighting as well. Dugong does not have that advantage, but it does have the ability to just out-bulk things. Let me check up how it goes against Primeape. The Primeape, I would guess, is still the winner here. Yeah, so it lands the Icy Wind is doing... Okay, it doesn't actually get to a second Icy Wind, that's the issue. An Icy Wind would do 40% damage, which is a lot. You can see that orange part of the Primeape's HP bar there. That is a lot of damage. And the ice shards are doing 7 damage apiece. That's not a huge amount. It slowly wears a primate down, but not quite enough. Let's try against Tox. Yeah, so Dugong Dugong is winning these 3 shield. Sorry, Dugong's winning these 3 shield situations here, and against Primate, what was it again? So yeah, look, it's winning some shield situations because of its bulk, but really Frostlass is better for that because it resists the fighting rather than being weak to it. What else do we want to say about Sid's team? Hypno, standard pick. It has tools against the dark Pokemon that would be otherwise used to counter it. So I actually really like Hypno as a pick, because dark is really its only counter. Like the only bug that's really relevant is Galvantula. So if your opponent's not running Galvantula, Hypno is a really good safe swap, I feel. How much does an Ice Punch do to a Zweilous / Mandibuzz? Let's go Zweilous first. And we go on Ice Punch. So it is landing the Dark Pulse in the 1 shield. Ice Punch is doing 52 damage. 36%. It's actually not that bad at all. So I think that is the second time now that I have been wrong. I've made a statement and then checked it up on The Sims and been like, never mind. Let's check it out against Mandy. There we go. That's how you spell it. Mandibuzz winning with a battle rating of 800. Look at that. Oh, okay, that's better. That's more realistic. I was looking at that. I'm like, wow, okay. Seeing the 155 out of 180, thinking that was the final health, and then looking over and seeing 120 out of 149 for the Hypno. I'm like, oh, right. That's what's going on. But look at this. Mandibuzz crushing Hypno. So, definitely taking that back. Hypno, I mean, I do still think is a pretty good safe swap, but there are a couple of picks that really are unsafe. Ice Punch still a cool little weapon. It can flip the tables in the right situation. And yeah, against everything else, it really holds its own nicely. Well, I mean, we all know about Mandibuzz and Frostlass by now. Let's get into the battles. We are already 8 minutes in. You guys have shit to do. So, Sid and Nemeth. Oh, okay, no. I was expecting it to be this set, but I just remembered that that was a different set that I played. So I was alluding to Diggersby versus Blaziken before. If you're wondering, Blaziken versus Diggersby in the lead situation, the 2 shields, Blaziken does have that one. Blaziken and Diggersby. Now, this might be... this might be a different... this might turn out a little differently to what I experienced when I had that. It does say here Blaziken wins. A Blaze Kick doing about a quarter damage to a Diggersby. But here we go. So, in the 0 shields, that Diggersby is going to get to an Earthquake. In the 1 shield, the counters start catching up to it. And the 2 shield, same thing. It's so I had a set against someone in the past where I had Blaziken versus Diggersby, and we just kept, like, I just kept on shielding every move, and the counter just caught up to the Diggersby in the end. Yeah, I was even hit by a Fire Punch, or I'm even hit by a Fire Punch in this particular sim, and that's not enough to KO me. It gets close, but then one more counter does that. So each counter doing 11 damage, and then it is building up to an Earthquake, firing the bait, building up to another Earthquake, firing the bait again, and both times I'm shielding, and I'm still winning. So that is an interesting thing to know about that matchup. That is not relevant in this set, so I'm gonna stop talking about it. Let's maybe look up... Oh, now getting that hex in is a big deal. Each hex is worth 12 energy, I'm pretty sure. Hex, and I was running Ice Beam on that thing. So each hex is 12 energy. Called it. Yeah, I'm winning most of those shield situations quite comfortably. Each Night Slash. Now this is a rank 1. We've covered this in a previous video. My Jellicent is a very low rank, so the Night Slashes are going to do a little more, closer to 40% damage to the Jellicent, but it's taking 10 turns to get to a Night Slash. It's taking 15 turns to get to a Shadow Ball, and it's the Primape's got to land at least 2 Night Slashes, whereas I think just hexes plus Shadow Ball for me are probably going to do enough. Each hex, just the hexes are doing 5 damage. Like, hexes, as we know, a low damage fast move, but you know, 5 damage per hex definitely still adds up. So I mean, pretty good situation for the Jellicent to be in. The only way Primeape is going to win is if I shield 1 time or less, and the Primeape commits both its shields. If it does that, that leaves Sid pretty darn open for the rest of the battle. So I built up 2 more hexes. 2 more hexes take 6 turns. I probably could have actually built up 1 more hex and been able to fire that Shadow Ball without, without letting the Primeape get to another Night Slash and beating me in CMP. So yeah, 10 turns for 5 counters and 9 turns for 3 hexes. So yeah, I can definitely fit in 3 hexes there. However, was that Primeape at 0 energy? It threw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unless I'm going to slow that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Getting in that hex is so huge. Okay, so it only needs 4 here. And so I'm already at a Shadow Ball. 3. Okay, so I couldn't have fit anymore. And so actually, good job, Fish. But now I have to shield. This Primeape, I think, has just used both of its shields. Am I right there? No, I still got 1 left. My bad. Letting that go because Sid knows that losing both of the shields early is going to be pretty difficult to come back from. With that Primate gone, whatever comes out, I believe I can switch into Zweilous with impunity. Let me go back to that team. Oh no, still could have the Dugong. And yeah, Frostlass is still a counter at this stage. I gotta double check how the Frostlass Zweilous 1 shield goes. So Frostlass is winning the 1 shield. Zweilous needs 2 shields to be able to let Dragon Breath do the work that we all know it can. So, third thing that I take back is Zweilous being a safe option to bring in at this point. Just noticed he doesn't have a great counter for Frostlass here. Like, whether you... Like, Frostlass is a thing that you obviously need to respect in this tournament. Whether you bring a Pokemon specifically to hard counter, like a Probopass, or Melmetal like I've done, or Ninetales, or you just have a bunch of other Pokemon that you know can beat it in the right situations, and just understand what those situations are. That's completely up to you. Obviously, no right answer. That's something I always preach, is that there's no black and white answers in PvP. I brought the Melmetal not just because of what it can do to Frostlass, but it has plenty of other applications as well. Okay, so I hit it with the Ice Beam, revealing that I have it. Obviously, they didn't feel the need to shield, and they fired the Foul Play. Now, that's interesting. Probably not the best thing to do, because even if you suspect that I've got Ice Beam as my second move, which is uncommon, most people are running Bubble Beam and Shadow Ball. Then again, people running Hex as their fast move are probably more likely to be running Ice Beam as their second charge move. So maybe predicted that, but and so fired the Foul Play, not wanting to get hit by the Ice Beam. But the Ice Beam, they should know that Mandy's bulky enough to take the Ice Beam. You can see this super effective move did not even take Mandy out of the green. So I was low enough on HP that they could have snarled me down. Would have taken, I don't know, 4 more snarls, maybe even 3. And then they'd have had 2 Foul Plays ready, which definitely makes a difference. So now out comes Wireless. I've got the fantastic counter there, and they did have Dugong in the back. That is such a cute little screenshot there of Dugong just hiding its face in its mittens. So I guessed correctly that the Dugong was in the back, so switching out to the Wireless would have been a big problem. I'm glad I just let the Jellicent go down. Switching to Frostlass would also have been fairly safe. What happens if so the Mandibuzz comes out and it gets 1 snarl of energy lead, and then I bring out Frostlass, and that's still the 2-2 shields. I'm going to look at the 1-1, and it looks like Mandibuzz does win that one. An Avalanche not KOing it, doing 89 damage, which is half H. That does half. Really? An avalanche from Frostlass does half damage to a Mandibuzz. My word. The Foul Play doing slightly more than the avalanche. The other Pokemon in Vortex Cup cower at the strength of the avalanche from Frostlass, but not Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz just brushes off its wings, laughs in Frostlass's face, and says, "You got any more?" So, what we established there is that absolute best thing to do was to let my Jellicent go down. They did need to farm down to have the 2 Foul Plays ready. Now they've switched out to the Dugong and I've got Frostlass. Pretty good situation for me. Ice Shard and Icy Wind both going to be resisted. Water Pulse not doing too much damage even though it's so high energy. And I threw the Avalanche here, expecting them to use that second shield, which they do. Because I'm on pretty low health, I expected them to try and switch that matchup. And they switched to Mandibuzz, hoping to catch the charge move. And I threw it anyway, because, you know, it's got half HP left. We just established it does half HP. So I went for the Avalanche. Was that the right move? Or did I just think that, oh yeah, Avalanche will probably be enough here? Water Pulse. I actually don't know how much energy Water Pulse takes. Is it 60? Oh, no. I don't type Water Pulse up here. Dugong. It is 60 energy, so I believe that Dugong fired after 6 Ice Shards, which meant it would have been energy dry. Look, I'm just going to take it to where the Dugong first comes in, shall I? A little further along. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 Ice Shards. So 20, 30, 40, 50. It's got 50 energy right now. 60. And Icy Wind was 45. So that brings it down to 15 energy left. 25, 35. So it's still 10 away from another Icy Wind. That was 2 Ice Shards there. It had the ice... Yeah, so it... Oh, it should have had the energy. Unfortunately, it successfully farmed, which is great, but that actually, how much energy did that thing have on it? Because I feel like it actually had another Icy Wind ready. So my understanding is it was up to 35 energy when it switched out there. $45, $55, and yeah, it's tough to say whether that was a mistake to fire the Avalanche or not, because on the one hand, they had enough energy for an Icy Wind, and they could have ended it right there, meaning I don't get a charge move off at all. On the other hand, the Avalanche really not going to do very much damage. Then again, the extra little bit that it chips off, like, that's handy for Zweilous. Like, that makes it easier for Zweilous to be able to Dragon Breath down and not worry about those Icy Winds coming through. Oh no, I've lost count. So it was 55, right? 55? And I've got a Dragon Breath in as well. So I think it was... Well, it's 90 to get to 2 Icy Winds. So yeah, definitely wasn't going to get to 2. But even so, the fact that like it had less than 1 Dragon Breath of energy left meant that the Dragon Breath is going to register first. And that's going to take precedence and KO the Dugong. Okay, Shadow Dragonair versus Frostlass. Looks like a bad start for me. Is it a bad start for me? Shadow. Look at that. Dragonair beats Frostlass in the 1 shield. Take that to the bank. Interestingly, Frostlass winning the 2 shield. Let's see this energy situation here. So it's firing as soon as it gets to the avalanche here. Over farms here. I wonder why that would be. There'd be something to do with the timing here. So like, I think it's getting that extra powder snow in here. And then as I tap the Dragon Breath, the powder snow comes through. But because powder snow is a the avalanche comes through. So because powder snow is a 2-turn charge move, fast move. Come on, fish. Because powder snow is a 2-turn fast move, Frostlass gets more benefit from sneaking in that move than I would the Dragon Breath on Frostlass's avalanche. So interesting that they have timed that so that I don't get in any, or that it gets through an extra powder snow. Then again, doesn't seem to be able to. Oh man, maybe I'm wrong there because. Hang on, why is it saying I've got 59 energy? Avalanche is 45. Each powder snow is giving me 8. I've got 59 there. So before the last powder snow, I'm at 51, which is still enough for an avalanche. What's going on? Also, what's all this? What's all this, you know, Dragon Breath time that could be spent aquatailing? It's wrapped, so it's not trying to build up to a Dragon Pulse and bait. I'm building up to 1 less than 2 aquatails, then firing that last Dragon Breath and firing the second aquatail. That's so weird. But we are getting the aquatails out at the speed we want to, so. Huh. But anyway, that's the 2 shield. We are winning the 1 shield, so Frostlass does have to commit both shields. As long as, if you're running a Shadow Dragonair, as long as you're willing to commit a shield, Frostlass will have to commit 2 shields. But I am wondering if that changes with any sort of timing irregularities there. And it's probably going to take me too long to figure that out for it to be in any way interesting on this video. You look this up yourself at home, I guess. This is homework for you. Take a look at the timing of. You can go Shadow and regular form Dragonair against Frostlass. Look at that, regular Dragonair winning the 2 shield as well. So regular Dragonair has it better against Frostlass than Shadow Dragonair. Just because of that 1-2-2 shield matchup. Food for thought. So I can stay in here. But I don't! I catch the Avalanche! And this is pretty good, because like Hex is gonna add up. They build 3 Powder Snows. 3 Powder Snows, interestingly. So that gives me time for 2 Hexes. What do I do with this? Do I let it go? Do I shield it? Surely I let it go. I let it go. And it unfortunately gives them 1 Snarl for free. Now, they've got Frostlass. I'm probably bringing out the Dragonair here. And the Aquatail just not doing enough. I do have 2 shields. Surely I'm using one. Use a shield, Fish. Use a shield. You didn't use a shield! Come on, Fish. I get the Aquatail out, which is just a miracle. But now we've got Lass versus Lass having a slap fight. And a bit of a giggle. It doesn't matter what they throw here because their health is so low. I'm shielding all 7 days of the week. And now the Primeape. Now this Primeape is doing damage with its counters that really actually adds up. I, like a moron, did not shield the first Night Slash. Well, I mean, I say like a moron. My thinking here would have been, I know it's going to get to another Night Slash. So, it's just good practice to let the first one go in case they get an attack boost. Obviously, Night Slash is going to take it so low on health that it's probably not going to matter, but either way, like it's like if you're in this losing situation anyway, you may as well do the right thing. So I lose this matchup. Just manages to counter me down from there. I do lose with the shield in hand, but like I said, even if I'd used the shield, they had that shield for my second Avalanche. It wasn't going to happen. The lesson there. Stay in with the Dragonair. What if... Actually, this is an interesting point. What if I had tried to farm down in the 2 shields? So say we're in the 1-1. How much HP has Lass got left? 35. That's not low enough. Each Dragon Breath is doing 4 damage, so that is 9 extra Dragon Breaths, so I will have to commit a second shield if I want to farm down from there. That's the unfortunate thing. That means that the ball is in Frostlass's court. If the Frostlass will get to the Avalanche before I can get to the Aquatail, if I understand correctly. Okay, this might be another IV dependent one. So this all comes down to CMP, which is very scary, but if Frostlass gets to move second, then that gives Frostlass an advantage, because Frostlass can decide, oh, I'm going to commit my shield and then Powder Snow down. And nothing you can do about it as the Dragonair owner. Alright, so they take out the... Oh, no, sorry, this is the... I'm just describing what's going on, and then it takes a second, like, oh yeah, we have just watched this battle. But I am wondering, okay, so what happens if we do stay in... let's just assume that we win this matchup in the one shield. They opt not to shield the second time. So they would probably bring out... What did they have as they had Mandibuzz and Primeape. Shoot, I don't know which one they would have brought out against the Dragonair. They don't know that I've got the Jellicent in the back. Or the Frostlass. In this situation, in this imaginary situation, we are down to one shield apiece. We've established that Mandibuzz beats Frostlass in the one shield. The trouble is, if I do beat the Frostlass with my Dragonair, that leaves my Dragonair with low enough health that it can be farmed by the next Pokemon that comes in. So that would probably be a job for Primeape, because while Snarl is, as we know, a very fast energy generation move, it's not very good for farming because of its low damage. So I'm probably seeing the Primeape there. I'm taking out a bunch of HP with the Primeape. Then I'm bringing out one of my two ghosts. And the Primeape would, of course, have a bunch of energy there. So the short answer is, I don't know what would have happened. But I feel like it would have been better than what this ended up being. Here's battle number 3. We are 1-1, heading into the third battle. And we have the same matchup, Dragonair versus Frostlass. And I switch out. Blaziken actually loses this. Not to be known by my opponent, who... well, maybe they knew that Frostlass does win that, but wanted to keep the Frostlass there with the Avalanche ready to be able to nuke the Dragonair in the late game. That's probably what they were thinking. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt in knowing that the Frostlass does actually still beat the Blaziken in general play. So Blaziken and... let's just give 1 Powder Snow of energy to the Frostlass. Frostlass wins. That is the 2-2 shield comfortably, because it's getting to 3 avalanches before I can get to my third Blaze Kick. And if we look down here, I am winning the 1 shield, barely, but I'm losing the 0 shield because that Shadow Ball comes through and haunts your dreams. So I think this one... so yeah, I'm getting to the second Blaze Kick just after they get to the Avalanche, which I survive. If Lass had managed to make it to a Shadow Ball, then I would not have survived. But yeah, Blaziken, not as hard a counter as what you thought against Frostlass. So, they switch out to the Mandibuzz. They do not know that I've got Stone Edge yet. So, this is probably gonna be good. Bam. And at that point, it's in farm range. It was still in the yellow just, I think. Yeah, but still, those counters do a lot of work. Now, it's only in farm range if I want to commit a shield. Is very important to mention. Mandy. Each counter doing 6 damage. which is, let's just say, that's a bit more than 3% of a Mandy's HP. So each time we punch that bird, we are chunking away 3% of its HP, max HP. So do I want to commit the shield here? Well, let's see. Having a lot of energy on Blaziken suddenly makes a huge difference. Blaziken does win CMP. It only... yeah, 142 attack. Like, Frostlass is at 123, I think something like that. So if I've got a Blaze Kick ready for when Frostlass comes in, that will even up that footing. So I opted to shield there to protect that, and I've got a lot of energy as well. It doesn't get to a second aerialize. That's huge. I did not want to have to commit 2 shields to that. Because how much does an aerialize do to a Blaziken? Bloody heaps. 56% damage. Each snarl doing 3 damage, which ain't nothing. Aerialize would have hurt. I believe I would have survived, but would I have survived long enough to really make a difference? So now I unleash my Blaze Kick. The Frostlass unleashes its Avalanche. I'm going to get to another Blaze Kick before they get to the next Avalanche. And suddenly, because I was able to farm up that extra energy on the Mandibuzz, we're now in this situation that Blaziken is going to be fine against Frostlass. Excellent catch, though. Unfortunately for them, I've just got so many options here. How much energy did that Frostlass have? Oh, we might have to go back. Yeah, I might have to go all the way back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then switches out. So exactly 1 Avalanche. Not exactly. And I fire straight away. So I don't think they got through a Powder Snow. 7. And Avalanche would hurt. I shielded this, but that was 1. So that puts it at 2. To the next one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wonderfully caught, and it does have a Shadow Ball there. It does have a Shadow Ball, which of course by extension means it has the Avalanche too. So now 5 counters and a Night Slash. I'm pretty comfortable in with the idea that that would KO in fact, I don't even think it would need to get to the Night Slash, to be honest, which means that it probably doesn't have to throw any energy, which means it can build up against one of these other Pokemon. So, Frostlass is in the back with a Shadow Ball and an Avalanche, and I've got to try and beat it. I do have the what am I saying? I do have the Blaziken in here, which can try and build up some energy and then try and fire it on the Frostlass on the switch in. That is an option because the Frostlass does have to commit energy to fainting these 2 Pokemon. Of the 2, I'd rather it have to fire the Shadow Ball at the Jellicent because the Jellicent can probably take a Shadow Ball. And also that burns more of the Frostlass's energy so it can't get to the next charge move before I can get to my Blaze Kick. Hope that all made sense. However, I think that was exactly 5 I think that was exactly 5 counters that it took to faint me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it was just 4. So, yeah, I didn't have that option. Like, even... I honestly think that the Frostlass would have been able to just powder snow me to death before I actually got to that Blaze Kick. So now it's got 4 counters worth of energy. It's gonna faint soon. I'm thinking bring in Dragonair with the idea that if the Primeape wants to unleash some of that energy, it has to against the Dragonair. It's not going to be able to like outlast the well, it has to fire on both. So sorry, let me take that back. I get a little spacey when I've got like the light in my eyes and all that. So I've come up with like a new excuse for my airheadedness every episode. Go back and watch. It's funny. So I hope that if I bring Dragonair out here, it can Dragon Breath the Primeape down before it has the opportunity to throw its Night Slash. That's what I was trying to get at. With Jellicent, absolutely, like it's going to get off one more counter and fire the Night Slash before I can do anything with Hex. And then it's still a pretty difficult position because I don't think I'm getting to an Aqua Tail before the Frostlass comes back in and takes me out. Well, I'm definitely not. What do you know? It was 5 counters, so it threw straight away. Okay, so now the Frostlass has the energy. Surely I'm not in farm range here. Like, surely it has to throw the energy to survive. Surely I'm going to get to an Aqua Tail. That was probably the best possible thing that Sid could have done there. Threw 3 Powder Snows, so now has 10 Powder Snows worth of energy. That's 80. Avalanche is 45, so it's only going to take 2 more Powder Snows to get to another Avalanche. I think 3 more to get to a Shadow Ball. And the Frostlass can definitely throw a Shadow Ball in this situation quicker than I can get to a Shadow Ball and throw it on Jellicent. Interesting that they built 5 Powder Snows there. But here comes that Shadow Ball. And look at this. How tanky is Jellicent managing to survive that Shadow Ball, hex down that Frostlass, and get me the win. I really like Jellicent. It's so fun to play with. And gets the job done. And that, like I have said before, is not a high-ranking Jellicent at all. At all. Its IVs are like 12, 13, 15 or something like that. Imagine if it had like actual bulky stats. That would be crazy. Look, that's it for this video. I hope you learned from it. I certainly did. We all learned some things together. Hopefully it helps you in your next Vortex Cup battle. I will see you next time. Remember to give the whole like, comment, subscribe thing a go, because that helps out someone who is, you know, right at the bottom of the YouTube algorithm pyramid. Like that, all that stuff helps to build that audience and get these videos more noticed. So hope you can help out. If you enjoy the content, that's the best way to give thanks. I'll see you next time.